Gata for the sound of the bell. Mind calm, body at ease, breathing quiet, sentiment benevolent. Honor the time of Zen, keep still, go silent, wanting nothing, we practice Eco Buddhism together. The sound of the temple bell booms for all to cease from conflict. May the way of Buddha usher in the dawn of nonviolent global village forever. Here is the after sound of the bell, thunder of silence, light after Dharma rain. Om, Om Maga Virachana, Maha Mudra, Manipada, Salapakaya,
Please stand, and as you stand, straighten your mat, fluff your cushion in gratitude for their support of your practice. Good morning. We will now go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. First in Sino-Korean, in honor of our tradition, and then in English. So for the Sino-Korean, we do not speak Sino. This is a sound practice. It's not about making beautiful music. It's about breathing and breathing. So as you get the hang of it, just throw your voice in. My foot is asleep, so I haven't covered
Some say, Shema, Shalei. Some Jew, Il Shei, Some say, Shema, Shalei. Some Jew, Il Shei, Some say, Shema, Shalei. Some Jew, Il Shei, some Gaia.
And now in English, please repeat after me. I go for refuge to the Buddha.
I go for refuge to the Buddha,
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment,
And realize the great way.
and realize the great way.
I go for refuge to the Dharma.
I go for refuge to the Dharma,
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will penetrate the teachings.
I will penetrate the teachings,
And uncover oceans of wisdom.
and uncover oceans of wisdom.
I go for refuge to the Sangha.
I go for refuge to the Sangha,
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many,
And transform this world into a awakened life. Now a short reminder in honor of our ancestors. On this second day of the month, a On the second day of November 2025, we acknowledge that this land where our temple buildings stand has been the home of Native peoples, Potawatomi, the Odawa, the Ojibwe, and the Council of the Three Fires, and also of Black Americans. We know that this neighborhood used to be a historically Black neighborhood during times of legally sanctioned racial segregation and legally sanctioned oppression. For our own awakening and for the awakening of all life, may the benevolent energies of our meditation, chanting, and full presence here this morning extend to all beings on this planet throughout time and space. May there be deepening of our interbeing. May peace prevail. Now please take your seats again for another short reflection. Now, to bring some movement back into our bodies, please follow along with these simple stretches. Rubbing the hands together until you can feel the warmth from the friction. And then rest them over your eyes. And let that warmth relax your face. Feel it cascading down your spine. Be aware of your breath as you do these stretches. Breathing in and exhale. Good morning, precious Sangha, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, in training and already realized.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
My name is Tongsan. I'm one of the teachers here, and it is my honor and my pleasure to introduce the Temple Choir. They have a gift for us, and they will start us off. The Temple Choir is back up and running. If you are a singer, I bet they'd like to talk.
morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Today we will be singing "Breathing In, Breathing Out." Some of you may be aware of it. It was written by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's kind of been like the Plum Village song. So as soon as these all get passed out, we'll begin. And we'll sing the first verse, the second verse, and then we'll finish with the first verse again. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. I am free. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel their space deep inside of me. I am free. I am free. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. I am free. I am free.
Thank you, choir, for breathing with us this morning and for helping us breathe. If you've been coming to temple lately, and if you've seen me up here lately, you know what's coming. It's the Diamond Sutra again. If you haven't experienced that before, I should tell you that the Diamond Sutra is my study focus this semester. It's one of the main sutras in our tradition, in the Mahayana, in the Zen tradition. Each time it's my turn for a Dharma talk, I've made a little bit more progress working with it, and it's made a little bit more progress working with me. So this is the fourth one of these, and I've decided that the theme so far has been thanks for letting go, and it still is. So this is thanks for letting go, part 4. But this time around, the letting go and the Diamond Sutra are going to sneak up on us. I'm not going to leave with them. But trust me, they'll show up. So I should start by saying, am I? Yeah, okay. I should start by saying that I'm a word person. Numbers, I'm not good with numbers at all. So my counting skills are this many, and a lot. So that means that a lot of things are hard for me to do, and I rely on the calculator on my phone for a lot of things. For example, figuring a tip just sends me into conniptions. And my partner explains to me always how simple it is, and I'm like, So, but it's also, it's not just a practical daily thing, it's an imaginative thing. Like, how many people live in Ann Arbor? I don't know. But how many people live? How many individuals? How many lives? How many people is that really? So it's not just me. I mean, I know I have a problem with this, but it's not just me, and it's not just silly. We've just come through a terrible pandemic. And I remember really, really concretely, I read the New York Times every day, and I remember really strongly how the Times tried to communicate to its readers the enormity of what was happening. And I remember particularly one infographic they call it. It was an interactive graphic that was on the website with a dot for every person who died. And the country was just covered with them. And when you hovered your mouse over each dot, the name of that person would come up and something about them. You know, like to play with grandchildren, had a collection of teddy bears, things like that. They were really trying to help us understand what 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, what that actually was, not just a number, what it was. Do you feel what I'm getting at? They kept rejiggering the graphic as the toll mounted. And I went about my life. And every once in a while, my brain hurt. I mean, not just my heart, but my brain hurt to try to think about, to try to really understand and embrace what those numbers really meant. So engaging with that graphic and trying to really, really absorb what it meant wasn't just an intellectual exercise. It was a moral exercise. It was a moral activity. All of those lives, all of those memories, all of those closets full of clothes. So every once in a while, this beautiful, weird thing happens to me. I'm going about my business, I'm just doing something, and then just the hugeness of everything just overwhelms me. It's like all the walls of my imagination have been knocked down. So here's an example on a recent walk. I like to walk in the Arb. And on a recent walk in the Arb, I came in through the entrance by the peony garden. And I turned around and looked up at the hospital and saw all those windows. And remembered how I spent 10 days in one of those rooms with one of those windows. And I remembered how I looked out that window every day and told myself stories about what was going on outside. So there I am on this walk to the Arb, looking up at all those windows and thinking, behind every one of those windows, there's somebody, a sick person, a dying person, a person recovering, a person looking out the window at me, looking at their window. Each one of those people is equally unknowable to me, but equally human, sacred, equally real. So an experience like this changes the scale of my imagination. It blows my imagination wide open. There's nothing to hold on to. And it's humbling in a really beautiful way. Thanks for letting go. That kind of letting go, right? Letting go of my own little life and realizing that all those other little lives and feeling that connection to them. This kind of letting go is deep in the Buddhist tradition. Our scriptures are full of things that want to do this to us, help us have this experience of letting go. So, for example, the resolutions of Na Aung Sunim, he was a 14th century monk and teacher in our tradition. We recite it every morning at temple. I recite it every morning on my way to work. And here are a couple lines from it. Nowhere will I not manifest myself in all the 10 directions, and far and wide help all beings to enter nirvana. May I thus teach and aid for countless kalpas, until there be neither Buddhas nor sentient beings in the end. May I thus teach and aid for countless kalpas. What's a kalpa? Well, kalpa is a unit of time. Bill-Chuck laughs. If you want to call it a unit, it is an unimaginable stretch of time. The scriptures say, imagine a mountain. Okay, are you with me? Imagine a mountain. Suppose that at the end of every 100 years, a person should come up and rub against it once with a silken cloth. A kalpa is how long it would take for that mountain to wear down. May I thus teach and aid for countless kalpas. Helping all beings to enter nirvana is already kind of, I don't know, huge. But doing it for countless kalpas, oh my God. That, oh my God, or oh my non-God, depending on where you fall on the theism range. That oh my non-God is very much, is I think a very important state in the Buddhist tradition. The Buddhist tradition is full of moments that want to do this to us. What do I mean by this? To reset our imagination, to destabilize the way we measure the world and place ourselves inside it. to change the scale of our moral imagination, to help us let go. Okay, here comes the diamond. The Diamond Sutra is a dialogue between the Buddha and one of his disciples, Subhuti. And the Buddha says, "What do you think, Subhuti? If there were as many rivers as there are grains of sand in the great river Ganges, would there be many grains of sand in all of them together?" Subhuti replies, "Many indeed, O Lord, would those rivers be, and many more the grains of sand in all of them together." Imagine this. And since we know the Huron better than we know the Ganges, go to the Arb now in your imagination. The Huron is shallow enough so that you can see the riverbed when you're kayaking or when you're standing on the bank. You can see the riverbed under the water. How many grains of sand are in a 5-inch patch, 5-inch square patch? 1 foot square? A meter square? If there were as many rivers as there are grains of sand in the mighty Huron, how many grains of sand would be in all those rivers? The diamond is not satisfied with this kind of mind blowing. Each time this is a repeated motif, and each time it comes back, it's bigger. So here's what happens next. Again, it's the Buddha speaking. If a person had filled with the 7 precious things as many world systems, not just worlds, but world systems, as there are grains of sand in all those rivers together. Okay, so that's the number of rivers as there are grains of sand in the mighty Huron. All those rivers together were filling as many world systems with the 7 precious things, and then giving them all to the enlightened ones. And then the Buddha asks, would that person, on the strength of that, produce a very great body of merit? Subhuti replies, "Great, O Lord. Great, O well gone, would that body of merit be, immeasurable and incalculable." This is immeasurable. It's unimaginable vastness. It's even more than all those unimaginable grains of sand. It's just like the mind cannot hold it. But now the sutra is going to take a sharp turn. So, you ready? The Buddha said, but, okay, so we have the person, the merit of the person who has filled incalculable world systems with 7 precious things and given them all to the enlightened ones. Okay? The Buddha says, but if another person had taken from this discourse on Dharma, but one single stanza of 4 lines, and would demonstrate and illuminate it in full detail for others, that person would, on the strength of that, beget a far greater body of merit. That's unimmeasurable. We've gone suddenly from unimaginable vastness to something both really, really small and really, really ordinary. 4 lines of poetry. Simply explaining 4 lines of poetry is better than filling infinite worlds with mega infinite jewels and giving them all to the enlightened ones. Of course, we're not talking about just any 4 lines of poetry, but still, the difference of scale is just not one. And I think that's the point. Even beyond the standard, pretty standard Mahayana self-promotion, I think the point is that difference of scale. It's disorienting. We don't really have anything to hang on to. The Xin Xin Ming, which is another great poem in our tradition, says, infinitely small is infinitely large. This is humbling in the most beautiful way. It changes the scale of the imagination. And it makes the imagination moral. And the imagination is moral, but it is an activity of the moral imagination. It changes the scale of it. It blows it wide open. I want to go one more step. So the place where I've gotten now in the memorization of the diamond is this stanza. So there's one more step to this process. So you remember we've gone from the number of grains of sand in the mighty Huron to as many rivers as there are grains of sand in the mighty Huron, to filling as many world systems as there are rivers, with, okay, yeah, and then those 4 lines of poetry. Okay, here's where we're going now. Suppose, Subhuti, a person, were to renounce their self-existence as many times as there are grains of sand in the great river Ganges, and renounce their self-existence in this manner for as many kalpas as there are grains of sand in the great river Ganges. Got that? This many. This many. Talk about letting go. Renouncing your self-existence that many times. It's letting go on a mind-blowing scale. But on the other hand, just after he said that, the Buddha says, suppose that someone else, after taking from this discourse on Dharma just for one little stanza of 4 lines, and would demonstrate and illuminate it in full detail for others, that person would, on the strength of that, produce a far greater body of merit. Immeasurable and incalculable. So attention to 4 lines of poetry is greater still than self-renunciation on an unimaginable scale. This isn't just letting go, my brothers, sisters, and siblings. This is letting go of letting go. And Subhuti feels it too. And dang, right now this is my very favorite line in the whole thing. I honestly can cry when I say it. After that, you know what Subhuti said, what the diamond says? By the strength of this Dharma, the Venerable Subhuti was moved to tears. That's the way experiences of this vastness feel. When you're in this kind of mental space at the Arbor Zen, looking up at the hospital windows, or down at all those grains of sand, something special happens. Something like awe, mixed with humility, mixed with gratitude, mixed with, I don't know. It's something like feeling how astounding reality actually is. So it's not just, in those moments, just for a moment, it's not just letting go, but I think it's letting go of letting go. Even if only for a moment or two, it resets the imagination. So indeed, thanks for letting go. Dang, love me that sutra. I think we have time for comments or questions. For big numbers?
I believe you said renounce the self.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's a complicated, that's a deep question. How much time do you have? I would answer briefly. We cling to an idea of self, a story of I am a baker, I am a teacher, I am an American. We cling on to those stories. And we have to defend those stories. And it's an awful lot of effort defending something that isn't really real. So that's a start at answering the question. So renouncing is letting that go.
The process of letting go of self can be like it in this setting. It just says, "Oh, just let go," like it's that simple. But it's, as many of us know, it is profoundly difficult because these things that we identify ourselves with, we become, and so they become our ground that we stand on. And once we have nothing to stand on, what are we? What do we become? And which is not necessarily a question to be asked, but an answer to be found once you can build it up again.
I think both things are true, that this self is a fiction that we defend, that doesn't really exist. And it's also true that it does exist. And our practice in the world is navigating between those, the reality with a little r, which is Mrs. Tongsan Catherine Brown. She likes to bake. She was born in 1959. She has ideas about herself. That's reality with a small r. And then reality with a big R is that thing that happened when this being looked up at those, with all those windows in the hospital. So I think that's the practice that you're referring to, is working with both of those things that are both true. And they're both true at the same darn time, which is crazy.
guess when I think of self-renunciation, it's a little bit like how, like Sherlock Holmes say, is a character. You can know things about him, but he's just kind of a character in a story. When I think about myself that way, that I am a person with a personality, but in a way, kind of never really existed like him.
And of course, does in fact exist at the same time.
I really like your reality pictures. Everything that we see and hear and touch exists behind our eyes and ears and skin. So there's so much that is just what we make it. But there's something beautiful to that too. Like what happens when you look up at those hospital windows. That really makes it reality. And not just what's behind our eyes, what's inside our ears. But it's made of connections and interactions and things happening on a different level. Like bedrock.
Thank you.
I really like the way you explained the non-self. And the only way I was able to understand that was through the practice of meditation. There's no other way. I couldn't approach it intellectually. I can only know it intuitively that there is no self. And when I began my practice 25 years ago, that was frightening when I heard what she said through my meditation master. But it's the reality of it. He said, young child, you're like a wave on the surface of the water headed towards the seawall. He said, this is not your life. This is just a lifetime in life. And it took a lot of practice to understand that truth to be real. Thank you.
Thank you, young child. The wave is real and the water is real.
What you emphasized today, Tongsan, with the Diamond Sutra reminded me of an experience I had a few years ago in meditation. So I think I'm just going to share it. Talking about the enormity of existence. And I had this vision of me and then going back ancestors, but what are ancestors? Humans, things that came before humans, like animals that came before humans. And then if we go back far enough, we're single cells. If we go back far enough, there's maybe an asteroid. Far enough back, it's just rocks and then gases and then the Big Bang. And I am all of these things in this moment. I am the result of every moment that has happened in the universe so far. And I feel like that's glimpsing what we're talking about with non-self and the vastness of it, existence.
Thank you.
The analogy of looking into the hospital windows, I often have a similar experience when I'm passing by houses in a neighborhood. I see them and I realize there is possibly a family in there, or, you know, a group of roommates or one person or whatever. And it makes me realize that I will never know fully what it is to experience the life of another person, because everybody's life is so uniquely different. And I think for me, thinking about how different everyone's lives are motivates me to meet and converse with as many people as possible, whether it's a 10-minute conversation or a 3-hour conversation. We can start to. We'll never fully understand what it is like to live someone else's life, but it's kind of enlightening and allows you to empathize or sympathize with anyone, whether they have a radically different viewpoint or a different lifestyle, a different religion. We're all here on planet Earth. And we're all trying to figure out our path and feel joy and exist in the same way that everybody else is. And I think that is a very comforting sense of community of the human race, and even the plants and the animals and everything.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello. Okay. I recently experienced being assaulted. I saw a close friend of mine physically thrown to the ground and beaten. And I still have a kind of cuts in my mouth where I was hit. And I find myself holding on to these memories because I want to know that I was someone who stepped in to try to protect my friend. But it can be just as painful to live through something as it is to let go. I think we have to allow ourselves both to be here for one another, but also to let go and to move forward.
Deep bows for your courage and for your pain. We should probably wrap up. Announcements?
Is there anyone here for the first time today? I think I've met some of you, but 2 of you, yes. Good. Well, you're very welcome here. And we have we meet every Saturday, and they're offered, and families are especially welcome on the second Sunday of the month, would be next Sunday. So we have a Dharma talk geared to children, and that's a little lighter and more fun. So we have a lot of announcements here today. I hope it doesn't take too many kalpas, but we are going to try to get through it. Also, join us for Together Action. That's a really good time to get to know the Sangha, because we all work together from 3 to 5 on Saturday, and it's hands-on work. It's vital for
It's a vital aspect of our Buddhist practice. And as we care for the temple, we care for each other. Sign-up sheets for all of our upcoming events and classes are in the foyer. Please listen as I read the list of events. Yoga with David Black meets every, it doesn't say every Tuesday, right? Tuesday at 6:30 to 8. A Lotus Sutra group with Chijang Cliff Brown meets Tuesday from 7 to 8:15, both in person and on Zoom. Each gathering, we read verses from the Lotus Sutra and have the opportunity to share and discuss. Samatha Cyrus Scholl leads a Jijang class on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8. This is our guy, yeah. Qigong, okay. Qigong, I got it. I said that. The class teaches you to use gentle movement, stretching, and mindful breathing to bring your body, mind, and spirit deeper into harmony. A sign-up sheet's available. Our next day of mindfulness will be offered on November 28th, the day after Thanksgiving. Unplug from media, put aside to-do lists, follow your urge to meditate, and just sit. Schedule begins at 9 a.m. and includes periods of sitting, meditation, walking, mindful work practice, rest, simple stretching, and a delicious vegetarian meal at midday. And it is delicious. And it concludes at 5 o'clock. Okay, the temple offers meditation classes on a regular basis. There's a 5-week program that meets on Thursdays from 6:30 to 8:30. The next class will begin on January 8th. We also offer the same instruction in a condensed overnight format, Friday evening from 7 p.m. through noon on Saturday. Our next overnight meditation is December 5th and 6th. We're grateful to all who have responded to the fall fundraising campaign, and we invite those who have not yet participated to join in. So we have raised about $13,000 toward our goal of $25,000. Contributions will be used to offer scholarships to support tuition classes, training, residency, and peace camp, to repair the water damage foundation and the historic Buddha Hall, to the historic temple. Upgrade the offerings of the temple library, augment our long-term building fund for upcoming major historic temple repairs, including roofing upgrades, skylight replacements, electrical systems, evaluation, and new windows on the first and third floor. So there's a lot to take care of in this hall, and we hope you are able to give generously. The temple has a Sangha Care Committee, and it has an exclamation after it, so I'm probably supposed to say, yay. That's a good thing. In the spirit of compassion and interconnection, our temple is here to support you and your loved ones during times of need, whether it's a warm meal, a hospital visit, a caring phone call, or help checking on a pet. Our Sangha can help with a helping hand. There's also someone that's offering tutoring, but I'm not sure what that's for. To request support, please use the sign-up sheet in the lobby or email Bomi. And does someone know what the tutoring is about? Yeah. Oh, that's good to know.
Will you help me count above 25?
Yeah, you can help her tutor. Yeah. Our online Sangha meets every Sunday night from 7 to 8:30. This service joins with practitioners from other temples in Toronto, Ann Arbor, New York, and as well as those living at a distance. The Zoom link is located on our website at www.zenbuddhisttemple.org. The temple is entirely supported by your donations. There's a fishbowl in the foyer to give for monetary donations, as well as an electronic credit card device. And that's it, and it wasn't even a culpa.
Yes, they'll jump.
Recovery Dharma will meet at noon today in the historic Buddha Hall Library.
Right next door, the yellow
Oh,
building.
yeah, sorry, forgot, big yellow house next door.
Interaction for about 15 minutes once we start. Outside doing some raking of leaves and also planting some chrysanthemums by one of our gates. So 15 minutes if you have the time, please come out and be right at the front gate.
Please stand. And if you were sitting in rows where the mats and cushions are not touching the rug, on this side, if you would take up those mats and pile them on the stage, these are the mats not touching the rug, the mats touching the rug stay where they are.
You mean when we're done?
Yes, when you're done standing up. And on this side, the mats and cushions go in the far corner. Let us end with the four great vows. Please repeat after me. All beings, one body.
All beings, one body.
I vow to liberate.
I vow to liberate.
Blind passions, one root.
Blind passions, one root.
I vow to terminate.
I vow to terminate.
Dharma gates, one mind.
Dharma gates, one mind.
I vow to penetrate.
I vow to penetrate.
The great way of Buddha.
The great way of Buddha.
I vow to become it.
I vow to become it.
Let's put our chanting sheets, the breathing in, breathing out. Here too.
Thank you. Thanks. It's a pleasure.